Alright guys, so I suppose a lot of you have heard now that the actor James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, has passed away. It's clear that we knew this day was coming, and it doesn't make it any easier. It's quite hard to hear when you look at his catalogue of work. The voice of Lord Vader, which is iconic, from the breathing, apparently George Lucas actually wanted someone like Orson Welles originally, but considered that would have been too well known, so he wanted something darker, and you get that with James Earl Jones's voice. Darker, scarier, robotic. And especially from coming from someone who, for the first years of his life, had the most horrendous stutter. Apparently he gradually overcame it, learned to enunciate his words. Like, a lot of feedback in acting is often that, when you need to enunciate, you need to project. And the fact that he kept coming back to voice Darth Vader just shows his incredible loyalty to the fan base, the franchise, the Star Wars universe. That's commitment. I mean, that guy was a pro. I find it interesting that I found out that he was in the military, and that his first roles included Dr. Strangelove. He also had Sandlot, Field of Dreams. And he, like many of us, cries when Mufasa dies in The Lion King. One of the hardest film deaths to watch for many of us. For those of us who grew up on The Lion King. It's, you know, it reminds me, about a year ago today, I was at a Comic-Con in Sutton Bridge, and this big man came in, and he was dressed in Lord Vader. Oh, that was the scariest thing ever. Me and him even had a bit of a tussle, whilst I was still wearing the Batman outfit. one thing I can definitely say is that the 50th anniversary of Star Wars is it's gonna feel a lot more empty than it previously would have been, since we'd lost Carrie Fisher almost 10 years ago. In fact, on the subject of Star Wars stars, we had Mark Hamill. He posted a loving tribute on Twitter, and he actually put hashtag RIP Dad. It's a sad day for a lot of us fans of everything. Lion King, Star Wars, Coming to America. I never realised that the woman who plays the Queen in that also voiced Sarabi in The Lion King along with James Earl Jones. And now that they both watch over the Pride Lands, what I always notice from many of the interviews is that between Jeremy Irons and James Earl Jones, that both of them would praise each other. Especially if you look at the Us Weekly interview, where Lion King is in fact the first film they talk about. That is quite a surprise, but he mentioned that his favourite line was from Coming to America, which was, "My son works." My favourite is also in that, but it's a different one. It's "Your only job was to look after the king." You can hear the Lord Vader in his voice, can't you? And I also love the Big Bang Theory skit with him and Jim Parsons, which personally I thought was adorable. Going forward, I think it would be wise to retire the character of Darth Vader. At least for a while. You're not going to get anyone who's going to voice Darth Vader like James Earl Jones could have. I mean, the voice is iconic. And then you also have the stature. I mean, you don't get many people as tall as David Prowse was. Do you know that he was the Green Cross Code man? Seems like everyone's finding everything out from this little day of sadness. Hell, it's even been raining all day. Well, it's, I even have one of these, you know. Yes, it is Anakin's. I don't know where I could find a Lord Vader one that doesn't cost a fortune. But, I guess all I can really say is rest in peace. May the Force be with you, James. I mean, you have a legacy that is going to be eternal. And on that note, Long live the Empire. And thank you for the memories.